what we talk about here in LEAD isn't just something we say. It's actually completely backed up by scientific research, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the American Psychological Association study about setting goals and seeing your progress. So in this research study, a scientist really followed like 20,000 individuals across multiple studies and found it was a lot, and found like irrefutable results that if you track your progress, you see the progress and you continue on the path of hitting your goal. So Liz, tell us more about this study. What did you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's fascinating, right? Because we're talking about goals, and at the end of the day, everybody wants to have these dreams, but dreams are only dreams until there's a plan to it. But once you have the plan, you have to track your progress, right? So in the study, I mean, you mentioned they studied almost 20,000 people. And the study really focused primarily on the health side, right? So like losing weight, getting healthier, blood pressure, things like that. And one thing that they noticed was when people wanted to lose weight and they weighed themselves in front of other people, they were actually the ones that had success in losing weight, right? And that's called accountability. You know, if I tell you, hey, Noelle, I'm going to do something, can you make sure that you check on me every week, or I'm checking in with you? You're more likely going to accomplish that. So that's important. So you now talk about having a plan, then you add some accountability to it, and that's what the study is proving, right? It's like, hey, you need a plan to achieve your goals. And I mean, in smarter goal setting, we talk about that, right? Getting specific, making sure it's measurable, it's realistic, it's achievable. You have your goal. Now, is it written in present tense? You know, does it have a deadline? All that matters, because if you don't have a deadline, then you're procrastinating it. So you're actually never going to accomplish your goal, or you get discouraged. If you don't have a plan, going back to the weight loss, it's no surprise, right? A lot of people jump from this plan or this diet plan because I didn't lose my 1 pound. But we know it takes 21 days to create a habit, right? It takes about 72 days or 2 to 3 months for that to actually be implemented in our life. So now I have this knowledge that it takes a lot to build a habit, but then I don't have the plan, then we get lost and we don't accomplish our goals. So
absolutely,
it's really important.
I think it's really cool what we said here about the accountability bit, and it's something that people notoriously overlook. It's like actually a really common thing is we talk about SMART goals, and you can find information on SMART goals in a lot of places. But the thing that makes LEAD different is kind of talking about coupling all these concepts together to really ensure your success. Because it's not just about creating that plan, and you know, you kind of have insurance on that plan too when you bring somebody in to help hold you accountable. And that really ensures your success. Like if you tell your mom you're going to show up somewhere, you're going to show up there, or your partner or anybody who's important to you. You know, you really want to not disappoint them. Or I thought it was really interesting with the weight loss one. You weighed yourself in front of people who saw how much you weighed, and they're like, yeah, I'm losing this weight.
And it makes it more exciting too, because I mean, going back, I mean, if you're an athlete, you know, sometimes you don't feel like going to practice all the time. But you know, your best friend is working hard and you guys usually run together or you stretch afterwards. You're usually going to go because of them. So, you know, that's a simple concept of accountability too, is usually when you don't feel like it, you're going to do it anyway, because you know that person is holding you to that standard or that expectation. Or like in LEAD, you know, when you meet with your mentor, you know that they're holding you accountable on the things that you're doing and what you plan to do with your challenges and things like that. So, I mean, accountability is important. Even just at home, right? Your parents. I mean, when I was living at the house, like, hey, have you washed your clothes yet? You know, have you done your schoolwork? And we don't realize that there are accountability partners, but they really are, and we need that. We need somebody to check in on us.
Oh my gosh, accountability translates to so many things. It's actually why you might show up to school on time, because your teacher is going to take attendance, and that's also a form of accountability. It can look like a lot of things, but overall, like just to know that this is all backed up by scientific research, that these things are proven, and there are ways to ensure your success that we're talking about here in LEAD. That's like the most surefire way for you to get something accomplished. And it's just a really great thing.
And you're also building characteristics too. You know, when you have a plan, then you're going to be more disciplined, you're going to be more dedicated, you're going to be more consistent. I mean, that's how you build habits. You just got to show up. You know, eventually you'll learn about momentum versus motivation. Once you build the momentum, you build the habits. That's part of your progress. That's part of your plan to accomplish your goal. You know, I'll never forget, I don't know the exact quote, but I know I was working out and they were saying, you know, you show up and you keep doing things over and over again without worrying about the result. You know the result's going to come because you're doing those things. And that's so true, right? You have the goal. It's great. Don't change it. It's there. But now you have to do the things that it takes to actually accomplish it. You know, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to open up your own business. Okay, well, what is your plan? You know, when are you going to decide your brand logo? Or when are you going to decide the title of your brand, right? You know, when are you going to do an LLC or whatever it takes for, you know, for you to open your business or go to college? When are you going to start your applications? When are you taking your SAT? When are you visiting colleges? When are you deciding and writing those letters? That's the important stuff. The goal is there. It's not going anywhere until you accomplish it.
And that's an amazing thing that you mentioned. And I know at this age, being asked those questions, it can really kind of sometimes really feel overwhelming and something that creates a lot of anxiety. How would you recommend that somebody kind of take it? Just any advice there?
Yeah, I mean, start small. The goal is the big picture. That's your big vision. That's what you want to accomplish. But then just ask yourself, okay, what can I do now? What do I need to do now? And then once you check that off, then you keep going. Because it can be really easy, like looking at a to-do list every day. And you have 10 tasks. And it's like, oh man, it's only 7 a.m. Or it's noon, I haven't done anything. It can be really overwhelming. But once you mark one box, it's like, okay, well then what's next? So figure out your plan, but then just start somewhere and just keep going.
One bite at a time.
Next thing you know, it's already 3 months, 4 months, and you're halfway to accomplishing your goal. Or you're going to hit your goal. You didn't even realize that.
So I know one big takeaway from the APA study is that there's a logical part and an emotional part to, you know, seeing that progress and making progress towards a goal. And that logical part is that measured part of SMARTER, right? So when you can see and track your progress, that's, you know, something you can statistically and really measure.
And we recommend that. You know, we recommend having daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, and it can be a check-in too. Kind of like, where are you at? You know, what do you need to do better? What can you keep doing? So that's part of just the logical stuff. Things that you can control. So
absolutely. And then of course there's an emotional part too, and that plays into the accountability and what we're talking about with accountability, and how when you have that accountability, it's I don't know where I'm
or
going
just
with
your
that.
why. You know, the emotional part, it's your why. Sometimes people will have goals of wanting to run a marathon or running a mile, but you're not always going to feel like lacing your shoes and going for a run. But the emotional part is like, hey, I know once I do that, I'm going to feel a lot better. You know, once I go run, I can come back and put my feet on the table and watch a Netflix episode. That's the emotional connection, the emotional purpose. So that's another way to look at it. It's your why. You know, why do you want to accomplish that? Is it to make your parents proud, your friend proud, to make yourself proud? Is it because you promised somebody that you would do that goal? So, I mean, accountability, we talked about the importance of it. But once again, it's just your why. You know, why do you want to do that? Why do you want to accomplish it?
Totally.
So you put that together with the M and SMARTER, you know, measuring everything. And that's the perfect recipe.
Yeah, absolutely.